Hey guys, this is Gary. This video will be an update to my previous 5th generation Supra video, which I'll link to above. I've included some of the recent spy shots and will go through to explain what I think the 5th generation will offer. Let's take a look at the latest photos. The next generation Supra was caught stopped at a gas station. This looks to be the same test vehicle we've seen from previous snow testing pictures. The body looks to have some kind of outer plastic shell around it, so you won't be able to make out the true form. It looks like there are rivets holding the plastic body panels, as you can see here, and found all over the car. They could also be hiding a front grille like the ISF. Typically, it's just a wrap, but I think they want to hide the lines to throw people off with its true shape. Other car manufacturers have used this method when they're testing concept or prototypes. I wouldn't doubt that some of the previous renders could be slightly off because of this. The rear quarter doesn't look like it has much going, except maybe hiding a rear quarter window and maybe more riveted plastic covers. The rear itself has these two red reflectors because of local lighting safety requirements, which are most likely temporary in order to hide what's really behind the wrap job. Now let's take a look at the brakes. These are 4-piston brake calipers in the front. The rear brakes from previous spy shot photos are only 1 piston. Modern day performance cars typically have 4 or 6 piston front and 2 piston rear brakes. The brake hardware from what I see on this prototype tells me it will not be a Camaro ZL1, Mustang GT350, 911, GTR or Z06 competitor because it won't make the power required to use them. Onto the wheels and tires. The wheels are 17-inch. I'm a fan of smaller wheel diameters, but with the way car manufacturers are these days, they typically put 20-inch wheels on their high-end performance cars. The wheels may be 17 by 8, which is narrow for a performance car and similar in size to a GT86, but these may only be the snow testing wheel and tires. A different set of tires have been seen for the dry testing. These are the winter tires that Toyota and BMW have been testing with. I checked on TireRack.com and they are not available. I'm not too familiar with this tire, so they may only be offered for other markets or specific to this car. The wheel and tire, in combination with the brake setup right now, doesn't seem to give me confidence that this will be a supercar. Just more of a mid-level sports car like a 370Z, which the Supra was originally designed to compete with. We really don't know how big this car will be compared to the previous generation Supra, but I have something to show you guys. Being that we know the tire size of the 2019 Supra being 225/50/17 and also the 4th generation Supra and other cars' sizes, we can be able to scale it. I understand that wheel and tire manufacturer sizes may vary, and of course there are other variables that need to be taken into consideration, but the scaled down drawings that I made should give us a close idea on what the size of the next generation Supra will be. I'll start with the front end. In these images, I scaled all of these cars based on the known tire width. I've placed the Mark IV Supra in the center for comparison since we know what that looks like. Looking vertically on the left side down, you can see the new Supra is just about the same width as the LC500 above it, but wider than the BRZ. Horizontally, the height is similar to the LC500. It's also similar in size to the last generation Supra in the center. Here are comparison pictures for the rear. I like how the 5th generation Supra has the round taillights reminiscent of the 4th generation Supra. Viewing it from the side tells you the most about the Mark V Supra. I lined them up with the front wheel center line. You can see when the rear wheel center line is put in that its wheelbase is narrower than the GT86. You can also see how long the LC500 is compared to the other cars, and it's based on Toyota's global platform. There were discussions that this would be a 2+2, and from the looks of it, I would say no. Remember that it's sharing the same platform with the BMW Z5, which is a 2-seater convertible. You also have to consider its rival, the Nissan Z, is also a 2-seater. Here's my reasoning. We know the other 3 cars have a back seat. You can see this area right here between the door and wheel well, which is designed to provide legroom for the passengers in the rear. Comparatively, looking at the Mark V Supra, it's hard to say that there will be a suitable back seat there. This explains why the wheelbase was smaller than the GT86 from the side comparison photo. The GT86 at least has room for somewhat of a back seat. Check out this open-top spy shot of the BMW Z5 when it was out testing. There is no back seat and you can see the rollover safety bars right behind the headrest. No back seats in the Z5 may be due to the convertible top taking up that space. Being that the Supra isn't a convertible, there might be a better chance of having somewhat of a back seat if you want to even call it that. It may be more of a bench-like fixture to place items on. I referenced that the Supra would be built off of Toyota's global platform in my previous video, and I'm going to say disregard that after I was able to scale the pictures of the cars together, because BMW also has a global platform, which they'll be using for future cars that started with the 2017 5 Series and upcoming 2 and 3 Series models. The BMW global platform will be more performance oriented because of their experience. Being that BMW has their own global platform, then it would make total sense that the Supra would be based off of BMW's architecture since it's being shared with the upcoming Z5. There is also no evidence that the 5th generation Supra will be built at any Toyota plants. Most likely, the new Supra and BMW Z5 will be manufactured in Graz, Austria by Magna Steyr. BMW has outsourced manufacturing to Magna Steyr in the past with cars like the X5, Mini Cooper Paceman, and Countryman. This makes total sense since neither BMW nor Toyota want one another visiting their plants. It would be more mutual to outsource and meet at another manufacturing location which they've contracted the work. Will this be the successor to the 4th generation Supra? The only way of finding out if this will be is knowing what engine they'll be using, and they've been really quiet about it. Several rumors were that it'll have a BMW 4-cylinder, BMW 6-cylinder, Toyota 4-cylinder turbo, Toyota V6 twin turbo, and a V6 hybrid. But I have a strong feeling it'll be the BMW inline 6 twin turbo or 4-cylinder turbo. Past spy shots have caught the cluster and it's from BMW. These photos were taken in the actual Supra prototype. Toyota engines may not even be used. Just take a look at the GT86 or BRZ. It's got a Subaru Boxer engine and Toyota doesn't even manufacture those types of engines, let alone manufacture the car. Considering this fact, they're probably more than welcome to using a BMW engine. No shame at all. They're most likely going to be using the 425 horsepower BMW S55 twin turbo inline 6, and maybe for an entry-level Supra, the 240 horsepower BMW N20 4-cylinder turbo. Testing has shown that the S55 twin turbo in the current 3 Series BMW is capable of a low 12-second quarter mile at 118 miles per hour, while the N20 is low 14s at 97 miles per hour. Times may improve for the Supra if it's based on a lighter chassis. Also take into consideration, the discontinued BMW Z4 was not really a performance car from my perspective. The BMW 3 Series was more of the performance car from what I saw. If there is to be a hybrid motor, then BMW also has an electric hybrid combined with the N55 single turbo inline 6. They've used this combination in most all of their cars, so it may apply to the Supra too. The Supra is a car that fans don't want Toyota to get wrong, but with the way the world works nowadays with collaborations and outsourcing, you can't really predict that. Will there be another Supra renaissance? If not, at least there will be more demand for 2JZs for years to come, since I guarantee they'll find their way into this newer 5th generation Toyota Supra. I hope this video was informational. Let me know what you think in the description section below. Like and subscribe for future videos. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.